Hey, what's going on YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to show you how you could use your Section 8 voucher in order to buy a house through the NACA home program. So if you are currently on Section 8 or plan to be on Section 8, watch this video to the very end so that you could know how to use your housing choice voucher in order to buy a house. Now this video is going to be an overview of the home ownership through public housing assistance, also known as the HOT PHA program offered through NACA. And I will also show you how to put yourself in position to qualify for this program. But since not all housing authorities participate in this home buying program and every voucher holder situation is going to be different, if you have a specific question regarding your eligibility for this program, it's best to contact NACA directly, and I will post their contact information in the description box below. But I'll do my best to make sure that most, if not all of your questions are answered in this video. Okay, let's talk about what will be covered in this video. So I'll go over how the program works with a Section 8 voucher, why choose the NACA program to buy a house, minimum qualifications that must be met, and how to qualify for NACA to buy a house with a Section 8 voucher. So let's jump right into it, but before I do, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. How the program works with a Section 8 voucher. To put it as simply as possible, your Section 8 voucher amount will be used as income when qualifying for a NACA mortgage. Example, if your voucher amount is $1,000 per month, then the housing authority will cut a check directly to the lender that is holding your note or your mortgage versus the homeowner that you're renting a house or an apartment from. And if your voucher amount is $800 a month and your portion is $200 every single month, then the housing authority will cut a check of $800 to the lender directly, and your portion plus the difference in monthly mortgage amount will need to be paid directly to the lender as well. So your Section 8 voucher amount will either cover partial or full of your principal and interest payment of a home loan that is offered through NACA. Now really quick, let's talk about the principal and interest payments and also the terms home loan and mortgage. So both the terms home loan and mortgage in today's society mean the same thing. Technically, a mortgage is a lien placed against an asset like a house, but we don't use the word mortgage in this way. So whenever you hear the word mortgage referenced throughout this video, think home loan. Now, principal and interest on a home loan are two different payments combined into one. Principal payments go directly to the borrowed amount, also known as your principal balance, and interest payments go directly to the cost of the borrowed amount, also known as interest or the bank's cut. Here's a visual of what this would look like. So if you had a mortgage payment of $1,342 a month, your principal amount would come out to be around $300 a month, and your interest portion or payment would come out to be around $1,041 a month the first month on a 30-year mortgage. So when your Section 8 voucher is paid directly to the lender, the voucher amount will go towards the interest portion first, and any excess of the voucher will go towards the principal portion of your mortgage payment. If the voucher amount does not cover the entire mortgage payment, then the difference will need to be paid by you, the note holder. Here's another example. Let's say every single month you receive a voucher amount of $1,000, but your mortgage payment is $1,342. The voucher will cover $1,000 of your mortgage payment, and your portion would come out to be $342 every single month. Now, aside from being a recipient of the Section 8 voucher, you'll also need to meet NACA's participation requirements, which are stable payment history, meaning you cannot be in default on your rental or housing payments. You must have a minimum of 12 months of on-time rental and housing payments. This applies if you're not receiving a 100% voucher. So if you're on Section 8 and you have a portion to pay, just make sure that your payments are on time for 12 consecutive months before applying for the NACA program. Family stability. Participants must have steady rental occupancy without frequent changes, demonstrating responsibility and readiness for long-term homeownership. So if you're someone who moves from place to place, you may not qualify. Minimum income, minimum hourly wage multiplied by 2,000 hours. This is going to be your annual gross income. If you get paid $15 an hour, your annual projected income comes out to be $30,000 a year. The last two participation requirements are employment and homebuyer workshop. For employment, you must work a minimum of 30 hours a week on average for at least 1 year. So unfortunately, if you're not employed, you may not qualify for the NACA program, and you must attend a NACA homebuyer workshop, either online or in person. So why choose the NACA program to buy a house? So NACA is the only home loan program that will allow you to do no down payment, is willing to cover 95% of your closing costs and will give you a below market interest rate, meaning there'll be any interest rate in the market when you buy a house. So why choose NACA? Because it's the best deal in the US and no other home loan program will even come close. So let's break this down really quick. No down payment. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer, you could take advantage of a conventional loan with 3% down or an FHA loan with 3.5% down. You can use a down payment assistance program with either one of these options. However, most down payment assistance programs come with 2 separate mortgage payments. With NACA, you only have 1 mortgage payment. And on top of your mortgage payments for a conventional and an FHA loan, you'll also have mortgage insurance. With NACA, you'll have no mortgage insurance. NACA also advertises no closing costs or fees. Now, this is true minus your inspection fee, which will come out to be around $500 to $600. But this small fee is fair because on an FHA loan, you're required to pay all of your closing costs plus an additional fee called the upfront mortgage insurance premium, which is factored at 1.75% of your loan amount. So on a $250,000 loan amount, you'll pay an additional $4,000 on top of all of your other closing costs. Now, this fee can be added to your overall loan amount, but this just simply means more fees and more money out of your pocket. And on top of all of this, NACA doesn't even care about your credit score. As long as you're not late on any payments or have unpaid collections on your credit profile, you'll still qualify for a NACA mortgage. The starting interest rate for NACA at the time of me shooting this video is 5.75% for a 30-year fixed rate loan versus on conventional and FHA loans, the starting interest rate is 6.5 to 7.5% right now. So the total cost on a loan of $250,000 fixed for 30 years with an interest rate of 7.5% is $380,000 over the life of the loan versus an interest rate of 5.75% with same loan amount, same 30-year term is $173,000 over the life of the loan. So the total cost of a NACA loan will be far less than its competitors. And this is not even including closing costs or the cost of a second mortgage if you use down payment assistance. By the way, I am not sponsored by NACA. NACA did not pay me to make this video. I just know a good deal when I see one. Minimum qualifications that must be met. Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff. So aside from the participation requirements of using your voucher at one place for 12 consecutive months and meeting the employment and income requirements, NACA also has their own requirements of income, employment, and reserves. So let's talk about it. In order to qualify for a mortgage, you cannot exceed their debt to income ratio of 43%. So what this basically means is your projected monthly mortgage payments plus your consumer debt cannot exceed 43% of your total income. Let's say you make $35,000 a year. 43% of $35,000 equals $15,050. If we divide this number by 12, that comes out to be $1,254 a month. So your mortgage payments plus your consumer debt cannot exceed $1,254 a month in this example. And the great thing about being a recipient of the Section 8 voucher is that the money that you receive should count towards your income when qualifying for a NACA mortgage. Now, this is not official, but this is most likely accurate. So let's say that your annual income from your job is $35,000 a year and you receive $1,000 a month through the Section 8 program. $35,000 divided by 12 equals $2,916. Plus your $1,000 voucher through the Section 8 program comes out to be $3,916 a month in total income. If we multiply this number by 43%, that comes out to be $1,684 a month. So now your mortgage payments plus your consumer debt payments cannot exceed $1,684 each month. This will allow you to qualify for a larger loan amount, which means you'll be able to find a better home for you and your family. Now, aside from income, you must also show steady employment for the past 24 months unless you're retired or disabled. And this employment must be supported by either W-2 or 1099 income. If you are self-employed and not reporting any income on your taxes, then unfortunately you will not qualify for the NACA program. Now, if you're interested in learning more about home loan programs for self-employed individuals or individuals who are not reporting income on their tax returns, comment the words "no doc" in the comment section below and I'll make a video about it. Again, W-2 or 1099 income is preferred with no large gaps in between the past 24 months. Other acceptable sources of income are Social Security, disability, child support, for alimony, retirement funds, and other forms of passive income. The key is documented income for 24 months or have the likelihood of continuing for 24 months or longer. Now for reserves. Reserves are pretty much cash in the bank. 1 month worth of reserves is 1 month of mortgage payments sitting in your bank account. 2 months of reserves is 2 months of mortgage payments sitting in your bank account. And 3 months of reserves is 3 months of principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Again, your mortgage payments sitting in a bank account. NACA requires reserves based on the following. If your payment shock is less than $300, then only 1 month of mortgage payments is required as reserves. If payment shock is greater than $300, then 2 months of mortgage payments is required as reserves. And if you're self-employed with documented income like 1099s, then 3 months of mortgage payments is required as reserves. What is payment shock? The shock experience when your payment is suddenly more than what you are accustomed to paying in rent is called or classified as payment shock. A mortgage payment greater than your rent requires you to demonstrate your ability to save the amount equal to the difference between your current affordable rent and your desired affordable monthly mortgage payment. This is payment shock. So your individual situation will determine how much reserves is required from you. Now, other NACA requirements aside from income, employment, and reserves are: number 1, no member of the household can have an ownership interest in any other property. Number 2, members must occupy the home for as long as they have a NACA mortgage. Number 3, member participation. Number 4, voter registration. Now, this may sound like a lot because it is, but if you follow the direction in this video before you apply for a NACA mortgage versus applying and then hoping that your counselor will walk and guide you through all of this information, your odds of success will greatly increase. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and like this video if you want to save money and buy a house. How to qualify for NACA and buy a house with a Section 8 voucher. Step number 1, be on Section 8 and live somewhere for 12 consecutive months with no late payments. Step number 2, maintain employment for 24 months and work a minimum of 30 hours a week. Step number 3, pay off as much debt as possible. I'm talking about your credit cards and installment loans. This will help you qualify for more of a house. Step number 4, save up at least 3 months worth of reserves and let it sit in your bank account for at least 60 days. Step number 5, apply for the NACA housing program and attend one of their in-person or online workshops. All right, guys, now I know this is a lot of information, so watch this video as many times as you need to, but there is a lot of information that I left out because it can get overwhelming. So if you want me to do a deeper dive on this topic, do me a favor and comment the word NACA in the comment section below, and I'll create another video on the Hot PHA program. And if you want to know what mistakes to avoid with the NACA program, watch this video right here. And if you want to better understand the closing costs that's associated with NACA, watch this video right here. Thanks for sticking around to the very end and supporting this channel. Please like this video. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.